Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. And today we are doing my 2024 book awards. So I've got a bunch of categories that I've seen other YouTubers do and some that I wanted to add in myself. So we're honestly gonna delve straight into it. I also hope you've all had a lovely Christmas and I'm looking forward to the new year. I cannot believe we are nearly in 2025. I'm excited for a new year of reading, new releases. It's going to be a great year. I am manifesting it. So my first category is going to be best cover. And there was a few nominations. We've got Orange of the Priory Tree, Binding 13, even Twilight, because the book covers stick out to me and I don't know why. But there was a resounding winner. And this was The Crimson Moth by Kristen Cesarelli. It would help if I could have it the right way up. And I just can't describe how much I like this cover. One, I also think a hardback really boosts a cover's beautiful rating. That's not very good English, but you understand what I mean. I think it just makes it look classy. There isn't too much going on, but I just really like this one a lot. And I also love this story as well. We're following a witch and a witch hunter. It's very much cat and mouse chase, and it's a very good story that leads right to the end and it leaves us hanging. And the next book comes out in 2025, so I cannot wait. And I hope the cover is going to look as beautiful as this one. I think it's more of like a goldy theme. It's underrated, this cover, but I love it. I do think I do prefer the US cover though. I will put it here if I can remember. This is the winner of our first category, best cover. On to the craziest plot twist of 2024. Now, this was hard because I have read quite a lot of fantasy, and as we know, in fantasy books, that last 10% really gets you. And then I've read a lot of Freida McFadden, and they could have been on this list. However, a lot of the times, I don't really like her twists sometimes. Like, they're a bit outlandish and a bit unrealistic in a way for me. I think my favourite of hers that I read this year was The Housemaid, and then it all just seemed a little bit subpar from then on out. But there is a thriller book that I read on Kindle, so I do not have the physical copy, and this was The Guest List by Lucy Foley. So the first book that I've read by Lucy Foley, and I really loved it. I read it in my Reading Thrillers for a Day or 24 hours video. Go and check that out if you haven't to see my full thoughts, spoiler free of course. But I really loved the way that Lucy had every character connected. It was as if I was just, every chapter was multi-POV, and I loved that so much. It kept me so gripped, and I honestly got through it in like under 3 hours. Like, it was crazy. We are basically following a wedding taking place on an island near Ireland, and a lot of weird stuff happens. So we have a before POV and a current POV. So in this current POV, we can see the grossness, weirdness happening, and then the before is obviously the build up to the wedding day, and it was just so good. Like, please pick it up if you haven't, and I definitely in 2025 I'm going to put it as my goal to read a few more of her books, because maybe her writing style just really agrees with me compared to other thriller authors. Our third category of our awards is going to be best banter, and honestly there was a whole series which stood out to me. This is none other than the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. If you follow me over on TikTok, I'll link it here as well. I bang about this series all the time, and I've definitely mentioned it in a few of my recommendation videos so far. I think it was also in my top series of 2024, and without a doubt, this is my favourite of the year, I would say. And I think it's just because of the characters that Liz Tomford creates and the banter between them, like the main couples themselves, as well as our side characters, the well-known characters that we know from previous books. I was in tears over the group of friends. It was as if they were my own family, and as if I was just listening to people that I know. I can't explain it until you've read it, because it just has a dear place in my heart. So this is why the whole of the Windy City series is going on here. Obviously a lot of books could have gone into this category. However, this one it truly stood out to me. Moving on to our next category, this is going to be the most immersive story. So this is something that really took me out of my own world, and I was really able to imagine what was going on in the book and it just kind of, you know, made me forget about real life for a day. And there was obviously a lot, and I think fantasy stands out for me because that is the one thing that takes me out of my current life and into another. My favourites of the year have been ACOTAR, we had Iron Flame, the second book to Fourth Wing, Twilight as well, but a winner that stood out for me for the most immersive experience was Caraval by Stephanie Garber. And I have a reading vlog coming very soon for you guys of me reading the entire series. So you will find out my full thoughts then. So subscribe to stick around for that one. However, Stephanie Garber's writing was just so beautiful. She created characters that I loved, sometimes got annoyed at them, but that's normal. That's as if I was hanging out with my friends, you know? If you haven't read the series, please go and pick it up because it truly did transport me to the realm of Caraval. And oh my word, in this book you just sometimes don't know what's real and what's part of the game they're playing. If you don't know, Caraval is this thing that happens, I'm not sure it's every year or every couple of years, but it's run by a mysterious person called Legend, and he is magical. He is able to create this magical realism country where Caraval takes place. So we follow two sisters, Donatella and Scarlett, on their journey there and their journey into Caraval and into the games. And oh my god, it just kept me so gripped. Like, I cannot recommend this book enough. One of my favourite fantasy books of the year for sure. Onto a sadder section, we have got the most emotional book of the year, and I haven't really read that many sad books, so there's definitely one winner for me. Obviously I've read the entire Binding 13 series, The Boys of Tommen, by Chloe Walsh, and obviously that is gut-wrenching. However, I feel like that book had quite a lot of happiness in it, whereas this one that I've chosen as the winner was just constant heartache, a few moments of like respecting life and beautifulness of being alive. And this was A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. This is my ratty little copy that I got for £1 off Vinted, but I'm so glad that I picked it up because I was putting it off. It was a book club pick this year for the book club that I'm a part of. However, I just put it off. I was like, oh, I don't know, like, is it going to be overhyped? But I think it's definitely the right amount of hypedness. And we're following Rune and Poppy. We follow them from like 5 years old every year throughout then. We learn that Poppy gets very sick, and it kind of just follows them dealing with it, navigating high school, navigating their personalities changing as they get older. And it was just amazing the way Poppy looks at life and her bravery, and just, she is a beautiful person inside and out. And Rune, questionable at times, however, you just know that he adores her and wants her to be happy. So I won't talk too much about this plot because I think you should go in blind. Obviously check triggers if you are sensitive to certain topics, but yeah, this won the most emotional book because it made me emotional. I got so attached to the characters as well. Our next category is going to be the most unique plot. And personally, now I'm reading a lot more. I've read 100 books in 2024, and I think that the more I read, the more books aren't hitting. You know, like, it's not original. There's tropes that have been used in that exact same way before. So on 2025, I'm hoping that I'm going to be finding some books that are giving me that wow factor again, because I feel like most of my 5-star reads came from the start of this year, which is normal, I guess. You get into reading, you pick up recommended books, and you love them. However, yes, 2025, I'm definitely going to be searching for those 5 stars. The book that I've given the award for most unique plot basically captivated me. It shocked me. I fell in love with it. If you haven't seen, I read it in this video here. It was Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I have not read a book this year that is like this. Our main character can speak to dead spirits. She can see them, interact with them. She can also interact with death, who basically takes these spirits into the afterlife, so they're no longer on Earth. And it was amazing. We also have a mystery element where our main character is trying to figure out who's poisoning her cousin, because a lot of people tend to die around her, because obviously whenever death comes to visit her, people, if he touches them, people die. And she's not had a great upbringing. It's looking up, and then she doesn't want this new murder mystery to ruin it for her. So this was so unique. I loved our character Death. I think I highlighted everything in the book that he said. Yes, please pick this up, because there's also Foxglove out and Wisteria. I'm still yet to read Wisteria because it's out in hardback, and the Kindle version is like £13. No. So I'm waiting until I think April, June time, I can't remember, for Wisteria to come out in paperback, and I will be picking it up on the day it's released. Moving on to a book with the best quotes, and I think it's obvious that I really loved the quotes in Happy Place by Emily Henry. I read this in March time in one of my best friends pick my reads for a week. Wynne and Harriet, one of my many Roman empires of the year. I fell in love with this story. Emily Henry's writing was so beautiful. Like, something that I've highlighted, my body will never stop trying to find its way back to his. Like, it just speaks to my soul, and I don't even know why. Love means constantly saying you're sorry and then doing better. I mean that you have the weirdest laugh of anyone I ever met, Harriet, he said softly. And it feels like taking a shot of tequila every time I hear it. There is not much more to be said about this. We have like a fake dating situation where Wynne and Harriet used to be engaged and they split up. However, their friends do not know yet. So they are then in a predicament where they have to go away with everyone that they went to university with and pretend to be together for a week or so. There's that kind of question of why they split up. We are revealed that towards the end, so wait and see for that. But please pick up Emily Henry if you haven't. This is also the only book that I've gotten to hers yet. There's definitely a lot on my wish list for 2025. So I think around summertime, I think I will be picking up more of her backlog as well, because she has a new book coming out, waiting for a funny story in paperback. I'm not sure if it's out yet in the UK. But yes, best quotes, Emily Henry, Happy Place. Next up is a female badass award. So this is a female character that has had amazing growth within a story. She puts men in their place, because that is what we want to be reading about. And if you don't know this galley, get to know. We've got Nesta in A Court of Silver Flames. So obviously Nesta is throughout the whole of the ACOTAR books, as you can see there. However, this one, she is within the main plot, and I adore her. She irritated me to the death in ACOTAR at the beginning of this series. However, she grew on me. She became one of my most loved characters, because I think she's just very misunderstood, and she has a lot. She's giving older sister energy, you know, the person that maybe doesn't get seen as much as the rest, and she just has a lot of trauma that she goes through in this book, and she gets through it very well. I also love the way she puts our main male characters in their place. Like, you can tell that Azriel, Cassian and Raisan are a little bit scared of her at times, so that's why she's winning this award. And I also think she has this secret love for her sisters as well, that it truly is so magical. And yeah, Nesta is my badass of 2024. I want to be her. I want to dominate the stairs, get up the 10,000 or however many she did. I think most people will agree. In the comments, let me know who your female badass of the year was, because if it wasn't Nesta, I want to know who, because I'm always looking for those kind of books where the female main character is not some like dainty little thing that gets broken every 5 seconds. So let me know. And our final category, we have the most underrated book that I've read in 2024. Obviously, this is probably personal taste, personal opinion, either. So I have gone with They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I feel like this book had its moment maybe like 2015, 2016. I'm not sure when it came out. I don't hear enough people talking about this. I adore this book. It has a beautiful message about life. Our two main characters basically find out that they're going to die within 24 hours. That's how this world works. You randomly get a phone call saying that it's your death day. So live it how you want. It's scary. And when I was reading it, I was like, what would I be doing if I got that call? Because I have no idea. I'd probably spend it with my family. The way that these two, they have a day, they have a journey, they have an adventure, and it was so beautiful to read. I also really loved that we got little POVs from random people that they had met throughout the day, and then we see what's going on in their lives, and you can just see how little moments really do make or break someone's day, week, month, year. I love Rufus and Mateo so much, and I just wish other people recommended this, and I think I'm gonna start pushing it in 2025 because people should pick it up. Obviously it's YA, maybe people want to avoid that, but it deserves to stay hyped up. That's all I'm saying. So there we have it. That is my 2024 Book Awards. I hope you have enjoyed. Please leave in the comments if you agree with me, if you disagree. I would love to discuss it. And don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see my face again. And I shall see you guys in the next one.